Within instructional design, there are many design models you can choose to deliver your information. Today, we're going to focus on Rapid Instructional Design. Within this module, we will cover what an RID module is and the phases and types of learning associated. This model is one of the many that serves teachers in delivering their lesson content. The simplicity of the RID model's approach and the emphasis on active learning provides great value to the teacher and their effective teaching practices. An RID model is an activity-based course to place learners in control of their own learning. Dave Meyer developed the RID model to incorporate learning techniques that speed up learning and emphasizes practice, feedback, and experience as an alternative to the traditional presentations. RID is focused on active learning rather than the traditional model of passive learning, such as lecturing. By incorporating real-world phenomenon into learning, this provides students increased relevancy to the subject matter. The RID model incorporates appeal to all learning styles and sensory modes. Somatic, learning by moving and doing. Auditory, learning by talking and hearing. Visual, learning by observing and picturing. And intellectual, learning by problem solving and reflecting. While using one or more elements together can be used, using all four within the learning experience enhances learning by addressing all learning styles. The RID model is built on 4 phases of the human learning process. Phase 1 is preparation, which includes the sparking of interest to the learner. Phase 2 is presentation, where learners will encounter new knowledge and skills. Phase 3 is where learners will begin to practice their skills. And Phase 4 is where learners will apply the new knowledge they have learned. Preparation phase. By sharing the big picture of what is to be learned from the very beginning allows students to start to understand why they are learning the topic in the first place and how beneficial the learning experience can be. Also, by stating clear goals of what is to be learned, provides concrete objectives that learners can look for throughout and self-analyze through the learning process. One of the biggest challenges many teachers face is sparking interest within their learners. By applying the hook of interest from the very beginning engages learners and piques interest of wanting to know more. Presentation phase. By developing lessons with tying in real-world examples, enhances relevancy for students. This is the primary goal of RID. Learners can picture how what they are learning can be applied to a real-life situation. Also, by having students incorporate multiple modalities of learning by seeing, hearing, touching, and imagining, creates a well-rounded learning opportunity. Practice phase. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect still holds true, especially in learning. By practicing what you've learned allows for development of mastery. As learners work through the learning material, they can identify their errors, learn from them, and continue on to the goal of mastery. Practice comes in many forms. Learners of more abstract topics can incorporate critical thinking skills by discussion of the topic both verbally and written. Performance phase. The application of knowledge is vital in showing true comprehension. In addition to the traditional assessment of testing, learning needs to present an opportunity to apply what has been learned. Again, by tying in real-world application, by creating an authentic assessment, gives learners a practical application of what they learned by acting it out in a real-life situation. Food for thought. What learning style do you typically fall under? What subject areas would this model prove more efficient to incorporate? And name some examples of how the performance phase can be conducted. References.